Okay, so I've just popped the awning out, 30 seconds, and we're set up ready to camp effectively. In the back of this is pretty special. We've done some really custom work on this. It's not out of the box by any means. We've had to modify a lot of stuff to make all this work. As I mentioned, it's got a lithium Redarc Redvision system in it, 12 volt direct, 100 amp hour lithium battery. It charges off solar, 12 volt and 240, so car charges as well as 240 when you stop the caravan park, all that sort of stuff. I'll come back to that a little bit in a moment. RV roller draw, Australian built. We're a distributor here in Sydney. We're happy to help you with a lot of specialised builds. This one was quite unique. We had to play around with the physical dimensions of the drawer and work with RV to build it to the specification because the customer wanted to fit his Evercool drawer style fridge. So it's not a standard application, but we were able to work with RV to build it. And then we had to quite heavily modify to make it all fit and actually be a flat floor. Nice thing about this Evercool is he does end up with that flat floor above the drawer system, so you can store a lot of stuff across there. 35 litres, I believe, allows you to keep all that fridge down nice and low, still fit a lot of stuff in. It's quite a nice little fridge. The drawer itself, trade height, nice and deep. They lock out, so God, you could fit a dead body in there if you wanted to, but not that we'd need to do that. This drawer system gives you heaps of space in here as well as on top, so that's a nice bit of kit. Lift that up to unlock it. We've mounted up some lighting. The lighting we've put in the awning and in the back of the car is the Berwin's LED lighting. These are the 30cm strips. They give you the ability to switch from orange and white. We've run all the cabling through the actual arms and hardwired it so it can be switched off at the actual Redvision system. Also here at the light you can turn them both off if needed as well. Orange is very good for insects and reducing the insect factors, which is really good. So there's 3 of those on the awning. We've also mounted one up here under the canopy door. That's a metre long strip, which gives you lots of light here at the back of the tailgate. And then we've got another small one mounted up in the centre of the canopy on the inside. Okay, so we've just popped in the side wing of this roller drawer. Now, being a trade height, we've got plenty of height to work with. We've actually mounted a lot of the stuff that we've fitted up in this vehicle to the side carcass of the roller drawers, hidden under the wings. As you saw before, when the wings were on, you couldn't see any of it. The 100 amp hour 12 volt direct lithium battery, only about 13 kgs in total weight for that guy, is mounted under there. The control box with all your fuses for your Redvision system and junction for all your bits and pieces is mounted on the side there, so you can access your fuses and check that they're working. It also clearly tells you what each circuit here and each fuse is running, so if you do have a problem or blow a fuse, you can easily check it, and Redvision will actually light up red to say that that fuse is not working. So it's quite a handy spot for that to be able to see and diagnose any future issue if you had any. Under this front section, we've also mounted the actual Manager 30 itself, which is the charger. It'll obviously charge 30 amps if you've done any research on these from solar, from the car running, and if you've got 240 volts you can just plug that guy in there from the corner, caravan park at home, etc., and get it all tickled up and charged. On the other side, I'll come back to the Redvision screen in a minute, but over the other side you can't see a lot, but effectively we've got the water pump and the air on board compressor. 200 psi continuous rated compressor is mounted up the front here. It's plumbed down through the tray to a 6-litre tank, and there's an outlet on the rival rear bar, which we'll come back to in a second. A water pump just with a little sink outlet. This allows you to pull out, have water on the side of the vehicle or on the back of the vehicle. It's quite enough length to actually move that quite a ways from the back of the car, which is handy. Filling a sink, having a cold water shower. This system doesn't have a hot water shower, but if you're in Northern Australia, you don't need a hot water. I'll quickly show you the outlet. Snap connect type fitting on the actual air compressor system. Tanks underneath, a little bit hard to see, but you give us a call, we can work you through that. Lastly, we've got a high output USB Anderson plug, a cigarette lighter plug, and a solar input there for extra cabling in, just as you need it. The fridge is obviously hardwired, and that brings me to probably the coolest part, and that's the Redvision screen. And I'll run you through a little bit of information about this. Automatically goes to sleep, so you just got to wake it up, and this thing gives you an incredible amount of information. In this case, we've actually mounted it up to the roof here in a little fold-up stainless bracket, so you can slide that out of the way, but allows you to just drop it down and get all your information and switch all your circuits. Now, when I say switch all your circuits, interior lights, your awning lights to the side, your compressor, it's got a tank, so it's already built up pressure, but that's the compressor on switch. That'll build up 120 psi and cut itself out. Tap's pretty obvious, that's our water tank. Allows you to build up pressure with the water tank over here, and you've got fresh water on tap. The other handy part about this water tank, it's the actual 30 litre water tank that goes above the spare tyre underneath. It's not a huge capacity of water, but definitely gives you enough to have a shower, wash your dishes and bits and pieces. Pop that one off. 12 volt, pretty self-explanatory. That's the sockets and outlets down there on the side. You can turn the fridge on and off here, which is quite handy. Now, all this, everything that's available on this screen is actually available on the app, and you can see the app. You can see the app on the inside in the car when you're around the fire, and you can switch all those circuits off that you can on the screen and on the phone, and get all the same information. What you're also going to see here is the percentage of charge in the battery. So you've got 92% in this particular case. It's telling you at the power that we're currently using, it would run for one full day. This little logo here is our water tank gauge. So it actually got a gauge in the water tank to tell us how much water's in there. And if we flip across to the next screen, which is quite simple to do, it'll give us a number of information like the amount of sun we've got and other bits and pieces. Yeah, so basically you've got your water tank gauge here, the percentage of charge in the battery, and you can turn everything on. When you slide across this button here, you get a little bit more information. You can actually see the canopy temperature itself and the fridge temperature. And again, this is translated through to the app, so you can see that on your phone. It also tells you what we're currently doing with charge state and how much the charge is charging. Now the sun's just going down now, so we've got 0 amps out of the sun. We've got 0.9 amps coming out of the battery to run our awning lights pretty much, because our fridge is cycled out. So it's actually telling us 0.9 amps coming out of the battery getting used by our power supply, and nothing's coming in. If you've got charge coming in from the sun or the car, it'll do the calculation there for you and tell you how much is actually going in the battery and how much you're using in the power. Few features, you can have a look here to see how much your daily sun average is, etc., and look through quite a number of graphs, which is quite handy to look at. All in all, it's a nice little system, very easy to use. You can pre-program it with the Redarc system, and once it's set up, it's really simple to use. You don't have to worry about it. One of the key things with this system is it might cost you a bit more for the outright system manager 30 with the Redvision screen and the control box or junction box, but the wiring and the labour you save in actually wiring it up is well worth it, because you run everything to that one box. Everything is fused and run from that one system. So look, this complete system's been a great fun for us to build. It really had some challenging aspects like the fridge and stuff we had to work with. We worked really closely with RV storage, 12 volt direct. We were great with a lot of their parts. Redarc, phenomenal. SC Fab, Rival. The parts list in this is just about endless, let alone the tune and the performance makes. Nice bit of kit, great car. We specialise a lot of Amaroks. We do work on other stuff, but Amaroks are our forte, and we have a lot of them through. So get on down to the AIS, say good day, get onto the website, advancedinstalls.com.au, and jump onto our other videos on YouTube and have a look at our stuff. Cheers.